Dwayne, Preferred Gaming and Trade, still talking about Magic the Gathering Finance, opening a card store. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel. It's in our infancy. It's a few dozen videos we've done. So back to kind of opening a card store, what to be prepared for. We talked a little bit about hard cash, what you're going to need to open a gaming store. And that number is going to vary for everybody. But the common number I think out there is $100,000, which to a lot of you seems not obtainable. To some of you others that may have 10, 20, 30,000 maybe saved up towards this goal, doesn't seem unattainable, but you're really considering maybe like an SBA loan. You're considering bank funding. You're considering like a GoFundMe, any type of crowdfunding situation, and or Kickstarter even, right? I mean, I know depending on where you're at in the gaming world, Kickstarter is a popular option. So I would truly 100% discourage borrowing money in any way, shape, or form. I think the patience it would take to obtain that amount of money, although you might be thinking, oh my gosh, it's going to take me 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 years to save up that money for this, I would encourage you to do that. In my experience in the other industry that I'm in, and unequivocally, the guys that we see succeed in business don't have business debt. And then you see guys that, do things, make really, really bad business decisions to try to increase sales, which decreases profit at the same time, to kind of like make ends meet, to make that overhead payment, to make that loan payment, that credit card payment. Please, 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 if you're going to get in this industry, save up what you believe, what you figure out on paper, what the correct amount of money is. Do not leverage yourself to get into a gaming store. It's not wise. Don't do it. All right. I can tell you right now, if you want to fail in this industry, go get yourself some debt. Dead serious. The margins are not there in this business to carry debt. They're just not. You're going to borrow it. You're going to open a store. You're going to think it's great. The bills are going to become due. You're going to be like, how do I pay this? What am I going to do? Packs of Magic cards are $4. How many of them do you have to pay back your, $5,000, $8,000, $1,000, $2,000 a month loan? And then again, pay yourself. Don't do it. You'll diminish the money that you have to work with. Back to how much money you need. That common number out there is $100,000. Back to the auction that I went to with the other game store that was closed. They started out with, I think they said it was like 80, 85, 88,000. The number was in the 80s, and they didn't go broke. They did not, like, they closed their business because the building that they were in, they were renting it, and I believe their lease had expired, and the owner of the building wanted to sell it. And I don't remember what the dollar amount was, but it was a dollar amount that they were not comfortable with paying, and they were just not comfortable finding another location. They were like, this was great. This was successful for us. I don't know the intricacies. I don't know if they made any profit or not, but they walked away and said, we're going to sell everything. We're going to get out. The buildings, we're not going to buy the building. But it seemed to me like they ran a pretty good place. I mean, the fixtures were good. Stock seemed to be okay. One good indicator is bathrooms. If you go into a game store and their bathroom's just rogue, right? It's just brutal, and you can't use it. It's terrible. That's probably a pretty good indicator that everything else there is not real great. So that 80 to 100,000 mark, it seems to be like where you need to be to open a successful game store. Can you open one for like 10,000? I've not seen it. I'm sure people have done it. They failed. There's going to be some of you out there, some outliers that can do it and be successful, but it's not the norm. I think anything under that 80 to $100,000 mark is setting yourself up for failure. I think things cost more than you would think they cost. I mean, fixtures, I probably have in my own store, and I bought secondhand fixtures, put them together myself. We capitalized on Toys R Us closing across the country. We were able to get a lot of the fixtures from them for pennies on the dollar. I was able to go to a local tint shop in a nearby city. I was able to buy their display cases. Even myself, I probably have $5,000, $6,000 in fixtures, where if you had to go buy that stuff new, it would be $20,000, $30,000. The small things add up quickly. You're going to have to get an accountant, you're going to have business insurance, you're going to have, all these things that are going to add up. And I think that if you don't count the cost of every single thing and then give yourself a cushion to not only pay you and your family, but to operate and some money in there for mistakes, you will set yourself up for failure. And a lot of times what we see is you go into a card store, it's dead, right? The owner's got a terrible attitude to the employees. It stinks. There's very, very little product. And that guy needs to go out of business because he doesn't even know he's done. He's just miserable, absolutely miserable, right? Because the people aren't coming in, the people aren't playing, there's not stuff to buy. He might have $2,000 or something worth of product in the store. If he sold all the product tomorrow, cleaned out the store and got that $2,000 in his hand, that doesn't even cover his monthly bills, his overhead, and he still would have no product. So that guy's in this trap, right? He's stuck. and he doesn't even have the knowledge. You know, he's so jaded, he's so upset that he should have closed 6 months ago. He doesn't even know that the best thing he could probably do is close, get a job, find a meaningful source of income to provide for his family. And then if he wanted to do this, hit the restart button maybe 5-10 years from now with the adequate funding. And more than likely, he probably started out with $10,000, you know, and then maybe he shot up and we had, you know, $15,000, $20,000 that was rolling, and it slowly declined. And when Magic has a downturn, when video games have a downturn, when the things that you sell start not selling as quickly, when the margins start to shrink, when your monthly bills at your household go up, when the electricity bill, when your water bill, whatever it is, right, taxes, right, maybe your property taxes goes up, maybe little Timmy needs a new pair of shoes one extra time that year. You know, I don't know what it is, but when those bills at home maybe go up with the income from your store going down, you're going to be caught in a vice. And that's when people make very poor decisions. Best way to counteract that is just to have cash reserves. Have enough money set aside so when Timmy needs a new pair of shoes, you get them. It doesn't hurt. You're mindful with your money. When Magic the Gathering says we're creating this crazy thing, like Ultimate Masters is a great example. Ultimate Masters came out, and who capitalized on it? My company tried. We tried. We spent every nickel we had to get Ultimate Masters, right? It wasn't enough. I saved none for myself. I sold boxes. This is my office here. I sold boxes out of my office to satisfy customers. Had I had the adequate amount of money set aside, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 for Ultimate Masters waiting, I could have made deals where we'd still have Ultimate Masters on the shelves today, and I'd be making an incredible profit margin. So what I'm really trying to hammer in you guys in this video is start with the right amount of money. If you want to be successful, start with the right amount of money. You know, another thing I want to touch on, I've talked about it with guys, I've seen it. Guys will open a Magic the Gathering store. They'll put their personal collection in the cases. Players become business owners. Well, where are we going to buy product? Where are we going to get collections? Where are we going to get singles? They use their own stuff. And eventually that dwindles and dwindles. And their collection goes to pay the utilities. Their collection used to pay the lease. Their collection goes to pay employees, sales tax, whatever it may be. All they're doing is just selling their own cards. And they could have done that without opening a game store. So guys, please, 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 get the right amount of money. Start off on the right foot. Be patient. This game has been around since 1993. It's 2019. It's going to be around. Get off on the right foot. Save the money. Start the game store correctly. And the very first thing that you need to do that is the right amount of cash, capital, hard money, and the right amount of capital, hard cash, reserves. Do it. Don't do it wrong. What happens? A year or two later, you do it wrong. You don't have the funny. You're jaded. You're upset. You're angry. What do you got to do? You got to sell your stuff to a guy like me. Okay, I'm going to come in. I'm going to give you 20 cents on the dollar. You're going to be mad. You're going to be kicking me in the nuts, right? Kicking me in the nuts. What am I going to do? I got brass balls. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hand you your 20 cents on the dollar. I'm going to bring it back here. We're going to put it in the vault. We're going to sit on it. We're going to make money. We have cash reserves. Don't have a guy like me come in and liquidate you. Don't have a guy like Rudy come in and liquidate you. Okay? I don't like doing it. I mean, I like making money, you know, but I don't like going in and buying a conglomerate of stuff. And a lot of times I'm buying stuff when we're in this situation that I don't even want, right? I'm just doing it to get the guy out of it because he's out of the store. He's, whatever it is, out of his building, right? He's done with this. I've got the phone call, hey, I got on a Magic 10 years ago. I've had this stuff flopping around, you know, like a dead fish. I need to get rid of it. What do? You call me. I'm going to go in. I'm going to buy it. We're going to get rid of it. Some of the guys I've bought stuff from just want it out. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want out and you want to call a guy that's going to come in and liquidate your stuff, I'd be happy to do that. But do it for the right reasons. Do it on your own terms. If you own a Magic the Gathering store and you want out, do it because you want to move on to the next chapter in life. You want to do something different. You want to go work wherever you want to work. Do that. Don't do it out of desperation. Don't do it out of necessity, okay? Because you didn't start with the right capital. I'm not picking on anybody in this video. I'm not, you know, the guys I've worked with, I've had very, very successful relationships with other card store owners that have got out, whether it was last year, 10 years ago. I still talk to some of these guys, so I want to make very clear, some of these guys I would consider friends. I'm not dogging them one bit, you know, I'm not putting them down. I'm just saying, if you're in this thing and you want to get out, if you want to get in this thing and you don't want to have to get out after a year or two or three, start with the right amount of money so you can have the right amount of product, the right cash reserves. Thank you guys. Like, share, comment. You know, tell me if I suck. Tell me if I'm doing great. Any feedback is good. And I have brass balls.